Hey guys, welcome back to another 5 Nights at Freddy's video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the World of Jazwares Wave 2. I just got the full set. I was originally going to make a video on just the main 3 I got, because I wasn't sure if I was going to get the other 2. But I decided to just wait, and I heard they were coming to Target. And lucky for me, but I actually found them at Target. I got Freddy and Bonnie. And I have a lot to say about this guy in particular, but we'll get to that soon. So yeah. This is just kind of like a comparison. I think I'm the first person to have all 5. If you're wondering where you can get these from, I get a lot of comments about this. You can get them from Jazwares Vault. I have a feeling Freddy and Bonnie will be dropping very soon, so just keep an eye out for those. And Foxy, Golden Freddy, and Chica did drop already, and there is a big problem with that. Jazwares let scalpers basically buy the entire thing within minutes. I got these 2 from Jazwares Vault. And luckily, I found a really good deal on Chica. I did have to spend a little bit extra, which sucks, but I couldn't find it anywhere else, and I wanted to get it for the video, but it was only like $5, $10, so it wasn't awful. But if you are looking for these, I recommend waiting or looking for a relatively low reseller price. I wouldn't buy from resellers, but if it's just like $5, $10, that's not that bad. So yeah, let's get straight to the video. So before I talk about the actual figures itself, I think I should talk about the Office playset. So this is a really cool feature. So if you want to get like any characters besides Freddy and Bonnie, if you want any of them, it comes with a piece of the Office, and it does suck. You have to spend a little bit more money. It's like $20, but it's a really good payoff for like you get this whole thing for an extra $10. So this is a lot of people are asking me how this works. Here you can put like a character behind there. I'm not going to do that though. I'm holding it up, and you put it down. It is not battery operated. I heard a lot of people saying it was gonna be battery operated. It is not. You press the light. And then the door, you press the door and it opens up, which is really cool. And see, like, let me get, I'll get Toy Freddy. I'll put Toy Freddy here. Put them on this side. And then you can't fit them right underneath, not just because this isn't the ones meant for it. In general, if I use like Freddy, it still doesn't fit. You kind of have to like crouch them under if you want to like play with them. You could also do like a guillotine thing if you wanted to. Like you can put Freddy here. I was doing this earlier when I got Foxy, and then you press the light button and it goes down. I thought that was pretty cool. The only things that really changed about the Office and has been revealed is there's none of like the black texturing and like, what's it called, black wash that was supposed to be on there. That would have made it look way better. But besides that, this is really good for the price. You get, if you just wanted the Office, say somehow you could just buy the Office without the figures, it'd probably be like $30. So getting all of this for $30 is not bad. The only things I do wish they did is they painted this, and this black. That was like the only things I feel like that was necessary. And I really don't like the way it looks this way. It looks really ugly. I feel like they could have at least added something here and something on the back of the door. But besides that, it is really cool. And you're not really going to be looking at those that much anyway. The first figure I'm going to talk about is Classic Freddy. This one is actually really nice. I actually prefer this one rather than the Endo Series one. The Endo Series one looks really good. But his eyes look so like weird to me. I don't know. I made my own with better eyes, and that really makes the figure look better, but this one actually does a good job at it. I just wish there was a way that you could have the mouth open on its own without pressing the button, because it looks fine, but his bottom jaw is so skinny since this is based off the game, and in the movies they made the bottom jaws of especially Freddy and Bonnie way thicker, so when they have their jaw shut, it doesn't look skinny, like kind of like how this figure looks. So I really wish they added that. And the second complaint I have about World of Freddy is he looks way he's literally just a scaled down version of the Endo Series figure. I shouldn't say they look way too similar, but no, he is just the same like mold. It's just scaled down. And I really wish they didn't do that, and they took the extra time to do the little things like add a better jaw, get rid of these like weird like circles that are there, because I understand that for toy animatronics, but it doesn't make sense. Or they should have just colored them like black or something. But I don't know. Besides that though, he looks really good. I also don't like how his nose is like really fat on the top. They did have the the Jazwares Endo Series Freddy too. But besides that, I think this is really cool. I think this is definitely really good for $10. If you can find this, I know finding it is half the problem. But if you do find this, you should get it. It's a really good $10 figure. It's definitely way better than the Funko one. It does have a couple things they could work on, but honestly, you could paint it yourself if you really wanted to. It's like a $10 figure. It's not that big of a deal. And yeah, he looks really nice in the Office. You can kind of see, I can put him on the side of this and some like peeking in through there. But yeah, that's Freddy. Now let's go on to Bonnie. Oh wait, actually, before I go on to Bonnie, here is the toy Freddy compared to normal Freddy. I think they look pretty cool next to each other. But I like how for the toy animatronics they have different molds than their Endo series figures. So I like that. But with the classic ones, they're reused. And it looks like for the withered animatronics, we saw withered Chica and withered Foxy. They are going to be reused again, but I have a feeling they are going to change a lot more than they did with the classic figures, because the classic ones, like Freddy has the same color as World of Freddy. I keep calling it World of, I'm sorry, Endo Series Freddy. But for the withered animatronics, withered Foxy and withered Chica have brand new colors, so that's pretty cool to see. And I really hope withered Bonnie is more unique, because I don't really like the Endo series with Bonnie that much since he has Endo 1, but I think they will fix that in the future. So yeah, let's get on to Bonnie. So for Bonnie, I think he was the one I actually thought looked the best when they got revealed at, I think it was Toy Fair? I don't remember where it got revealed. It got revealed sometime over the summer, and I thought he looked really good, but in person, I think he's definitely the weakest out of this wave. I really hate how they reused the Endo series Bonnie's jaw. It looks good on the Endo series, but on him, since his jaw is always closed, it just looks really dumb. Like, look at the difference between these two. It's like night and day. And again, this is just a complete reuse of that mold. I would have loved to see the ears been more like posable or just permanently bent down in one. I understood why they did it for this one, because they have to connect them with each other, but for this one, they definitely could have done it. I don't know why they didn't. You can see like the seam where the Endo series one would have went. I actually thought that was kind of cool. His eyes do look way better though. I wish for the Endo series Bonnie they had black eyelids. This one does have it, and they're also like aren't fully wide open. This one looks way better for the eyes, and I also think the color of blue is way better than the one they did for the Endo series Bonnie. But besides that, it's just a reuse of Freddy's body, and his head is like, if you look at it like this, it's pretty good. But if you look at the jaw itself, it looks pretty bad. I really wish they gave him like the movie jaw or just tweaked it. Because, like I said earlier, it would have looked way better, like how they do in the movie when their jaws are shut. The teeth would be sticking out like this. Like, look at this side profile. But here's what he looks like in the jump scare mode. He actually looks good with his jaw open. It's just you can't open it though. That's the problem. Unless you press the button. And by the way, I don't really mind the button. I know a lot of people do, but I think it's fine. I just wish there was a way to pose the jaw, and I really hope they do that in the future. But yeah, here's him compared to Toy Bonnie. I think they did a better job on the toy animatronics for Freddy and Bonnie, but for the other ones, I have different opinions. But yeah, these two look pretty good next to each other. I really liked it. I just kind of wish they gave them posable ears and they fixed the bottom jaw situation. It would have been perfect if they did. But yeah, overall, I'm not trying to sound negative. I actually really like these figures. And for the price, again, $10 for a Bonnie, that's really good. If you find this in person, you should definitely get it. So yeah, let's move on to Chica. So for Chica, she comes with this door right here, and she's pretty cool. I think this one is really good. I think this is probably one of my favorites of this wave, but the only thing I don't like is her color is extremely bright. I don't really mind it though. I just mind it because it's the same color as Golden Freddy, which I'll get up right here. They're the same exact shade of yellow, and I knew a lot of people didn't like the Golden Freddy yellow, but I think it looks weird when they're next to each other. But if it was on its own, it definitely doesn't look bad at all. I actually think Chica's really good. I really like how the eyes look too. Like, Chica always has the empty looking eyes, like in the first game. Like, you don't know what she's thinking. That's like the whole like cool part of her character. And with the Endo series one, her eyes are always like wide open. Honestly, it doesn't look that bad on her though, because she has room around her eyes for like the shadow to like kind of like make it look empty. So I don't really mind it with Endo series Chica. I think she does it the best out of all the classic animatronics, but the World of one looks great. The only thing I don't like about World of Chica is when you open her jaw, it looks really weird to me. I don't know why. I think they just made this part of the jaw bigger so the jump scare like part works. And for the Endo series one, it doesn't have that problem. You remember, these are the same mold. You can tell by the beak, but I think this one's really good. Like, I think this is a huge improvement. Also, the Endo series one has upper teeth, which kind of bothers me, but this one does not. So if anyone noticed that, they fixed it. Oh yeah, she actually has new hands. I thought they were going to use these for Freddy and Bonnie as well. Oh, that's something I forgot to talk about. The Bonnie and Freddy's hands are very, very small, and I don't like that. It's obvious they just reused the World of one. But for Chica, they actually went the extra mile, and they gave her like the movie hands that they have. I'm just saying from the movie, I think in the games only Freddy has it, but in the movie, Chica has it. And I think it looks really nice. And they should have just used that mold. They could have just reused that for Freddy and Bonnie. I don't know why they didn't do that. But yeah, Chica's a really, really big improvement. I would 100% pick this up if you find it. This way you can also complete the office. So yeah. Here's Chica next to Toy Chica. They look really nice next to each other. It's kind of like the movie. Like, it just reminds me of it. But yeah. Also, if you're wondering how I got my Toy Chica's jaw to open up, it's because I opened the back of the figure. I actually cut my hand doing that, but it ended up working out. So, I don't really care. So yeah, that was classic Chica. Now let's go on to classic Foxy. So for World of Foxy, I think this is another one that has a huge, huge improvement over the Endo Series one. And the Endo Series one was actually really good. I really liked this one. I even made a couple customs on it. I say a couple because I'm working on actually changing his colors to look more like his colors. I got it a little bit off, but I think it's fine. But I think the thing that's really bringing this figure down is the color choice. His red is really bright, and the tan looks a little weird, but I don't think it looks bad. I only thought this now compared to him, yet he looks so much better compared to him, in my opinion. I also think it's because it's the proportions of the figure. When it's scaled down, this one obviously has to fit an endoskeleton inside, so the head's gonna be pretty big. It's not gonna look completely accurate, but with World of Foxy, he doesn't have to worry about that, so they scaled him down. And like, I know it's the same mold, but it looks so much better on the World of one. I think this is one of the best Foxy figures that are out right now. And I know a lot of people hate the neck. Like, I saw a lot of people saying, oh, he's the neck of a football player. Guys, when you get it in person, you mainly see it like this. You cannot really, it does not bother you nearly as much. I do agree, though, the neck should have been skinnier, but I don't know what they really would have done to add the little play feature. Because on Mangle, that's why I have Mangle over here, it's on the back of the head, and I feel like that would have looked weird if it was on the back of the head of Foxy. It kind of would have been more of an issue than the neck. So I think they went the best route possible with making Foxy have a thick neck so they can add the gimmick. I think in the future they should try to make it skinnier though, but I do have one complaint about this figure. Actually, no, two, sorry. So the first complaint I have is the silver that is in here. I think it looks nice, but they should have added black around it, but I do understand for a $10 figure, that's kind of hard to do. Even though he is 20, but he comes with a whole like side of the office, which is really cool. But yeah, besides that, he was really good. Also, you can kind of like somehow, I don't know, for Foxy, you can keep it so his jaw is like open most of the time, which I think is really cool. I did that with the toy animatronics as well for a lot of them. I was able to do it for all of them besides Mangle, but I ended up customizing Toy Chica to always have her jaw open, and a couple of the other ones. But for Mangle, you can't really do that. But for Foxy, he kind of does it on his own, which is really, really neat, in my opinion. So yeah, that's World of Foxy. I think he's awesome. I think this is a must-get if you're a Foxy fan. The only thing I don't really like, too, I forgot to mention, is he has like tufts of hair coming out of the side of his neck. I understand they just reuse the mold, which I think they should stop doing that for future waves. But they should have put the hair on his shoulders. It would not have affected him as much. He has a lot of room from his head to his neck. And also, the pant legs are a little too dark red instead of brown. That's just a personal thing, though. I don't mind it that much. But it would have been nice to get a darker shade of brown so it doesn't blend in as much. But besides that, awesome figure. I think everyone should get this one. I think he's a huge improvement from the Endo series. And yeah. Now let's get into our final one for today, Golden Freddy. So for Golden Freddy, I think he's really, really cool. As I was saying with Foxy earlier, you can kind of like, of course I can't do it on camera, but you can get it so his jaw stays open a bit if you just move the arms a certain way. But he's just a recolor. Actually, no, I don't know if he is. Wait. No. Is he? Yeah, he is. Sorry, guys. He is a recolor of Freddy. I was about to say the arms might be different, but for some reason they only gave Bonnie these really small hands. Again, I think Bonnie is the weakest out of the wave, but for Freddy, they did end up getting a new hand, so I apologize about that earlier. And Golden Freddy is just obviously a recolor Freddy. I don't really expect him not to be. He has brown eyelids. That's like pretty weird, in my opinion. I think they should just like slightly resculpted it or just made it completely black. Yeah, he looks really cool. A lot of people were complaining about Golden Freddy saying, oh, he's like pea yellow. I think he looks fine. Like, I think they still should have did a different shade of yellow. I think, honestly, Endo Series Chica yellow, like that yellow would have been perfect for him. But it's whatever. It comes with the main part of the office, so that's the coolest part. It kind of like brings everything together. If you're just going to get one of the office, like, sets, get either Foxy with the door or this main part, because you don't really need the doors. It definitely completes it though. I recommend getting all three. But yeah, we don't have an Endo series Golden Freddy yet. I know we're gonna get one in the future. I would be surprised if they don't. So for now, I'll just have him next to Shadow Freddy. But yeah, he's a really cool figure. Definitely pick all these ones up. The only one I would recommend skipping out on, if you're gonna skip out on one, would be Bonnie. He definitely needs a lot of work. But besides that, these are awesome. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know I clowned on a couple of these characters, mainly Bonnie. Oh, that's new. Oh no, never mind. His jaw is opening. I was about to say. Yeah, I think Bonnie's the only one that could need some work, but he definitely doesn't look bad to any extent. It's a $10 figure. These things are great. You get a play feature. The eyes all glow in the dark, which I forgot to mention. And you also get this cool little, like, office set. Like, all of this is awesome. And I'm so happy we have Jazwares now instead of Funko. It's such a huge step up. And the only reason I'm pointing out these, like, mistakes that I see is so in the future when they're, like, the designers of these figures are working on them, maybe they'll be like, oh, we can make a new mold for Bonnie's jaw, or we could use a different shade of brown for, like, Freddy, and so it's not the same one as the Endo series. Like, stuff like that, the little stuff adds up after a while. And I know they can do great things. Like, we saw these guys, which are all, I love these. This whole idea of having the endoskeleton inside is amazing, and even if it makes the figure look a little bit off, I'm fine with that. So I just hope in the future they like make sure the world of is a little bit more different. If anyone from Jazwares is watching, it would be crazy to me. Like, that would blow my mind. Like, I hope you guys know how much I love this line, and I really appreciate them actually listening to us. Like, we got the Withered characters, first wave. That's something Funko would have never done, and they seem to be trying to give us everybody they can. So I'm really thankful that you guys are actually listening to us, and you're doing great. Compared to the old line of figures that we had, these are such a big step up in every way possible, and the only reason I'm pointing out the little things is so in the future it can be even better, which they already are great. So yeah, if you guys are looking for these, get them on eBay if they're a good deal. I mean, like, you're probably not going to find one for a good deal, but every once in a while I do see, like, pretty close to retail price, like maybe a $5-10 max difference. But besides that, you can definitely get these at Target. Hopefully they restock them on Jazwares Vault soon. I was very lucky to get these two from there. So if you can find them on Jazwares Vault, definitely buy them from there. And yeah, I think that these will be at, like, GameStop, Walmart, Target. So yeah, you'll be able to find these everywhere in a couple of months. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.